Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. We're on with the rust repairs on this little MPI. So let's just get stuck into it. I've been working a little bit, so I'll cut to that footage now. So we have been on with the rust repairs. We've done the bit in the tyre well there. It's not finished, it's not cleaned back or anything like that. I like to just get everything in, and then you have like a tidy back session to yourself, and you just tidy everything up. Around the subframe out here, I've put the first plate in. I could have tried to make it in one plate, but there just needs a little bit finishing off at the back. We'll get that fixed. Small little bit of repair done there, and as you can see here, I've been working on a plate that will most likely have to go over the top of this arch, purely because this quarter is absolutely mint. This isn't, you know, we're not going to get into like taking a quarter off and stuff on this car, because it is really clean. The lower half of it has already been repaired, and it's, you know, we've wanted to save this panel, so what we're going to have to do is probably weld this from the top and just try and give it as best we can, tidy up. This isn't a concourse car, this isn't a show car, I will just say that. It is quite a high mileage Cooper that is just genuinely loved and enjoyed. The aim of this is to get it solid. We're not going for like trophy winning cars here, although I know for a fact if it's anything like Pete makes other cars, when it has a respray it will look absolutely lovely. So we're not going to get too hung up on how it looks inside the boot when you don't actually see that, but obviously it has to be solid and it has to be right. So where we're up to now, eagle eyes among you might notice that the valance is fully welded in. No, it's not, don't be silly. So the valance is there. Can you guess why? I'll give you a second. No, don't think you got it. So this is how I am going to tackle this repair. So if I just drop you down here, have a look. So like mentioned, we've been on with the repairs. We've done this one in here. It needs a good tidy up, you know, bit of seam seal stuff. We've done this bit here. We've made this little piece here, and we're on with making that. But really, there's a big elephant in the room, and it's the fact that there's no bumper lip left. So if you all remember that massive, horrible, big old panel that I had, this is what's left of it. This is the main bit that we need. So the valance is sat on there like that, and purely reason why I'm saving these closers, because they're actually really, really good. They will clean up really well. Bit of etch primer and a bit of paint inside, that will come right back up. The valance fits. I don't want to say it because we haven't got the back panel on it, but it fits perfect. Heritage valances, guys, don't muck around with anything other. They are really, really good. They just fit really nicely. So this, I've trimmed right back. It's only a rough cut. And the idea of this is to get our bumper lip back is we're going to slide that up under. Oh look, there you go. Up under like that. And get that fitted in there. So the idea is, I've got my centre point now. This will never fit kind of how you want it. When the back panel goes down, you want to align your back panel with your valance really. All three of these layers, they never line up. If you look at a factory car, they're never perfect. To the point that the valance closer on this side is actually been welded on a good few mil back more than this one. And it's obvious just how the valance fits, but it goes back where it should be because obviously the car's was like that from factory. But this is what I'm trying to reiterate to you guys, that when you're doing these restorations, like when I've done the numbers up here for this screen aperture, not one Mini is the same. Now I'm not turning around saying I'm an expert, but I've had a few apart now, and not one of them ever been the same. They've been close, we've had some close ones, and we've had a few that are quite identical within years and stuff, so obviously they're on the same production line, but they genuinely aren't the same. They don't just go, that on there, that marker up there, that's exactly how I want that car to be. No. Like playing with your door gaps, no door aperture is ever the same. You get your door to fit in the hole, basically, because they are all different. They're not a million miles out unless it's been in an accident damage, but they're never the same. So, just a little tip there. So what we're going to do with this, purely because this panel is horrendous. These are so thin and horrible, these repair panels. We're going to actually slide it up underneath. We've left a lip and we're going to slide it underneath the existing boot floor. And then that's why we can get from the inside and seam seal it, but also it gives us like an easier way of welding it in. Obviously once the back panel comes down, you won't see it, you'll just see these little tabs for the wiring slipping up. So we're going to weld it from there, clean it back best we can, just run a bead of seam sealer across the top of it when it's done. That way we've got where we need it to be, and like I mentioned, this is a repair, this is a get it on the road thing. We're not going to win any awards for this car, but it has to be solid, and this is the best way I know how. We don't need, I mean, you could argue the car needs a full boot floor, you can get in there and you can get on the comments if you want, but it's just not the aim of this game. So we're going to get this now trimmed back a little bit more, and I might start tacking it in, and then I know where it needs to be, then I can pull the valance out of the way, get this fully welded in, and then basically what I said to you while I build my way out, we're getting there, aren't we? We are getting there. Right, I'm going to shut up, time lapse again, let's get on with it. I will briefly stop the action there because I won a prize and I don't win anything. So if you haven't already, quick shout out to Mini Daly. So Mini Daly has a YouTube channel. Obviously the clues in the name, he does have classic minis. However, he's doing a bit of a wide range of things. He's a big fan of Volkswagens and fixing them. That's one thing for sure, but please go check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description below and go and check out his socials and stuff like that. He's a real nice chap and I'm really looking forward to meeting him. Hopefully we'll meet up at the Rustful event in September. So that should be a right good laugh. But he ran a competition. I thought, oh, I'll enter it. I never win anything. And I won, which was pretty mad really. So let's have a look. I mean, I'm opening it's a whole box of sweets. That'd be really good. So let's get stuck into here. Big thank you for sending it out to me as well, mate. Appreciate that. Oh yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're staying in the workshop. They're not going home. Can't beat some sweets, but that's not what I won. So what's going on here? Look at that! Look at that little bonnet opens and everything. Look, it's the best condition Mini in the workshop. Look at that! Oh, that might have to go up on display somewhere. Let's pop that out there. Look at that. Best restored car in the workshop. I can sit there with the Volvo and the other Mini. Love it. Right, so what I actually won was, I've got some anti-splatter compound. I've got 2 tins of it, so that's definitely going to come in handy for all the welding jobs we've got to do. So this is what the actual prize was. So massive thank you, mate, for bringing me out that. Yeah, excellent. Thank you, mate. Go check out his channel and give him some likes, give him some comments, and yeah, best of all, subscribe. Let's get him to 100 subs. Thanks, buddy. We've got quite a big bit done really. That was a lot of welding all the way along there. So like you see, I've completely seam welded it along. We'll flash it back a bit, but we're not going to go mental with it. And then obviously the back panel comes down to basically where the weld line is, and you won't actually see it. So I thought that was quite a good way of doing it. We got the bumper lip back exactly where it should be, and then when we fit the back panel on the Valance, you basically make the bumper holes fit, just make them a bit bigger than they need to be. The panels never line up. So that's a big bit done. So we're kind of done on the whole of that side, repair wise, up to about here, and then we've got a little bit to finish over there, and then that arch to do. We're getting there. I was having a good look up here. What I'm going to do is clean all this back, I think. I do think it's going to need a little bit of metal potentially, but we're going to see how it cleans back. But if not, we'll leave that for a bit of cure rust. Right, I thought we'd take just a quick minute now while I take a breather from all that welding, and just please subscribe to the channel if you can, guys. A little bit of a plug. Subscribe to the channel. We've just passed 12,000 subscribers, which when I set this channel up 3 years ago, I genuinely did think, yeah, it surpassed my expectations massively. So thank you very much for everyone that's come. Thank you for everyone that's new. Drop in the comments if you're watching this video, or in general, just interact with the videos, what you want to see, what you prefer. I like to do what I like to do. I'm quite stuck in my ways, but also I do want to please you guys. I like to bring you projects that you might want to see. I'm not a millionaire. I still fund this, so bear that in mind. You know, if you're saying let's get an Aston Martin, who knows, one day, but not right now. So subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. If you want to help any more, there's membership on the YouTube side, and there's also Patreon. It's a small donation. Please go and check it out. There's a link in the description to both of those below. And while we're here, we've got Minimine, our sponsor, and there's a discount code now on the screen. So when you go onto that eBay store and you spend £15 or more, use the discount code and you'll get 10% off your purchase. Loads of you do that, and it's so awesome because it's a nice little way of interacting, but also I feel like I'm giving you something back for watching the video. So it's a lovely way of doing it. So go check that out. While I'm stood at the board as well, I've been a bit more organised. So my head's full of project ideas, full of everything I need to do, and I seem to get none of it done. So one of Mrs. S's ideas was just write it down. Doesn't matter if it's a small job or a big job, write it down. So we've got the Amazon, the 89, the 245, the Clubman, the MPI, the V70, Sidewalk is a question mark. Now the Sidewalk is a question mark because as I'm filming this, you'll be watching this a good few weeks after, but as I'm filming this, I'm about to pack and get ready to go for the IMM. Now we're going to take about 10 days, I think, out there. So the IMM is the weekend after this one, that I'm filming it, in Germany. And we're meant to be taking the mini sidewalk. So I started to film some videos of the repairs. Take you for a wander. I started filming some videos of the repairs. So I needed to do a rear wheel bearing, go through suspension, check everything, sort the brakes out, just give it a once over really. Some bushes, I changed the back box because I had my yearly exhaust change, and just to get rid of the extra box. So I've got a RC40 just single box now, which is what I had before, because it was going to catch on the ferry and catch on everything. It's mullered the box, so I changed it, got everything sorted, and I thought there's a wheel wobble, need to have a look at that. And the steering rack is just done. It's the original steering rack, it's too much play. The wheel wobble is the steering rack. Now, loads of friends jumped on board to offer to help, which is awesome, but we haven't got a lot of time. There was no shakedown time. The MOT was coming up. That teamed with the underside, loads of little bits I just felt like needed attention. When I got married 3 years ago, nearly, I said I'd take it off the road after a honeymoon. I didn't. I've had another 3 years of joy, and yeah, it's just not worked out. So that's technically off the road now. Now you could argue we could take the Clubman. That has just not done any mileage in the last few years. It's just too much of a risk. The other factor that took the sidewalk off the road wasn't just the steering rack. So I took the car for a drive to and fro to Jackman's because we did a bit of work there and I did a bit of work at my house. And it was crunching into second going to and fro that trip. And the gearbox has always had a bit of a whine, and it's got a little bit worse over the last few years. And I thought, this is my last hurrah. I'll take it to Germany, we'll have a good time, and I'll pull it off the road then and do a bit of a synthetic restoration to the underside of it, really. Drop both subframes, do the gearbox, blah, blah, blah. I've called it. It's just, so I actually, technically right now, I'm miniless. I am classic carless on the road. I've got all this junk around me, and one of them is on the road. So there'll be a bit of a video coming up of what I plan to do, and a kind of a bit of an order I plan to do it. It will annoy some people, and it will make some people quite happy. But we need to prioritise things. The board's going to help us prioritise things. There's a few deadlines that we use, like we use shows for a deadline. I'm going to use them, and we'll go from there. But I think this will probably be a good spot to probably park this video. I'm going to just do a bit more off camera, just cleaning back, and then I want to bring you in probably for the final episode of this car, which is get the back panel and valance both fitted to the car, and then Pete Mate can come and get it. There's a lot of welding and grinding. It is 25 degrees right now, and I don't fancy doing any more, to be honest. I've done enough today, and I've had a good fun doing it. I just want this car back and out for paint, and then we can make that bit of a plan that I spoke about. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Remember to do everything I said before. Hope this hasn't been too blabby. It kind of has, a bit too talky. I'm going to shut up because it's still talky. But we've got progress. I did say I wouldn't film too much on this car with these repairs because they are boring. They aren't fun at all to do. But the big panel to go on next, and that will be fun. So if you were going to IMM as well, I hope you had a good time and a safe trip. I will catch you soon, guys, and we'll get back onto these projects.